All right, everybody. So today's the big day to hand in that exam. And really, what I'd like to do the first part of this evening is kind of process the exam with you. Hopefully, our last time together gave you a lot of helpful hints about how to answer the questions, but um, first of all, I'd like to hear from you. What did was the exam what you expected? Was it, fair and pretty much how it was described, or were there some surprises, or were you wondering, maybe you weren't sure about something that we can talk about? That was really my goal. It's like I never learned well from like multiple choice tests. Like I would memorize it, but then I'd forget it. And so the way I was able to remember the theories was to apply them to a case. I know everybody learns differently, but hopefully this will be a little helpful to you. And remember, um, there's no failure. Everybody's going to be successful one way or another as long as you put forth the effort. And um, if you forgot to include things, if um, there was a part you missed or got wrong, the worst thing that can happen, and it's not bad, is you just get to fix it. So, you know, um, because the goal is for you to learn the material, not just to get a grade. All right. How about online? Any response about the exam? Go ahead, Cassidy.
I just had more of like a question. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. So my laptop that I'm currently using doesn't support Word. I can use the online version through the university, but through saving it and turning it in, I had to save it as a PDF.
Yep,
I'm not
that's
sure if that.
fine. I
Okay,
can,
okay,
I can open either a Word document or a PDF document. Just
okay. That was all
when
that
you
I had to.
save it, make hopefully you also saved it as a version that you can change in case you have to make changes. So you kind of have to save it. Like I have a lot of students that use Pages because they're on a Mac. So I just say, okay, save it in something that you can revise in case you have to make changes, and then save it as a PDF to submit. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
What else? All right. Well, let me talk a little bit about what I posted. So I just opened up class 8 on D2L because it includes basically the answer to the exam. So the very first thing on class 8 on content is called Theory Exam to Sample. And what I did here was I actually asked 2 or 3 students if I could use their exam answer as a sample. Um, and I put them together in one exam answer. Uh, they're not perfect. They're student answers, but they're good enough. They're pretty good. Uh, so I also wanted student examples because I wanted you to see how somebody might answer the question differently than yourself. So they might have taken a whole different take on how to use person-centered with this client. So it gives you kind of a different way of seeing things as well. But they included most of the main points. And your answer doesn't have to be exactly like these. It's just a sample. You know, maybe you answered it in a completely different way, but hopefully you included the concepts, the terminology, the techniques, and you know, so I just provided this not as the only way you can answer it, but one way you can answer it, and you can also see how other people may have responded to these questions. So that'll give you something to read while I'm grading them. I'm still catching up on some discussion boards. I'm teaching an extra class and creating a class and doing K-Crep. No excuse, but I will have your exams graded before next class, because I know you're anxious to see how you did on that. Remember, you know, there's nothing wrong with having to fix a few things, you know. And if I ask you to make some changes, I'm sure you won't be the only one. So just see it as part of the learning process. And you know, I'm sure either you did great the first time, or you will do great after you make some changes in it. So either way, it's nothing to worry about. Hopefully that'll remove some anxiety. And if you have to make some changes, try to get it back in 2 or 3 weeks. The main reason for that is I really don't want anybody to have to work on making changes on this exam while you take the next exam. So try to get these in before I give you the next exam. It's really hard to make changes when you're thinking about 2 sets of theories. So try to get this one completed and turned in again if you need to before you start the next exam in 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. I think the next exam you'll have over Thanksgiving to complete, so you'll probably have an extra week to work on that. All right. Any questions about kind of the grading process or how this exam works? Should be pretty straightforward. Now, the way I respond and grade the exams is the same way I respond to your discussion boards. I have an outline of what needs to be included in each exam. And that's pretty much terminology you should include, techniques that you should include, and what should be included in a treatment plan. And it's a basic outline. So I include that in every response. In case you have to add something, you'll have that outline of the necessities. And then I add a paragraph about my response to your specific exam personally. So just like in the discussion boards, I add a brief response to you personally, and then I kind of have a general class response. So I will tell you, basically, if you need to make changes, exactly what needs to be added or changed. So, okay, that's the process. And, you know, I think it's time consuming, but it's fairly painless. All right. So let's talk about our subject for today. So there's no discussion board for this week. I know you just got done working on your exams, but it's really because this is a theory. If you had any psychology in undergrad, they probably covered behavior. And the reason I'm including it in this class is because you need it for the comps and the NCE. So as I talk about these various behavioral theories, including multimodal, I really just pulled out what you need to memorize for the comps and the NCE. So this class is really more of a review for those later exams. These will not be included on your next exam for this class, but you need to know them for the comps and the NCE and those larger exams. All right.